Hey guys, we're back for another part of this. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams left, and I want the last part to be a little bigger than this one at least. So we're only gonna do 4 teams today. We're gonna tackle Nafran, 726, Welcome to the Jam, and Ticklish and Pallet Town Baby. Tomorrow we'll get the team Skuntank through Cambo, and that should finish us up. All right, so let's tackle the Nafran 726 team. Looks like a pretty standard combination of things, but then a random Weavile and Barraskewda and Yawn and Powdon. Alright, there's some things here that I can't really make much sense of, honestly. So I'm going to assume the core of this team is the Cinderace plus Aegislash. They do synergize pretty nicely. But Life Orb is never ever worth using on Cinderace. Honestly, on this team, I think you prefer Bulk Up Variant because you got Aegislash to break. So we're going to make this Heavy Duty Boots Pyro Ball. We're probably gonna have to change Weavile because it really leaves us vulnerable to a lot of things defensively. This team is desperately in need of a status absorber. You really need a pivot. And on top of that, you're super weak to things like Toxic Spikes as it stands, even if this is Boots, which I'm assuming it is, yeah. Because it would hit this with Life Orb plus that plus this, and yeah, you don't really have to switch into Dragapult either. So this probably has to be like either Clef or Mandibuzz, and Mandibuzz still leaves you vulnerable to status, so it probably has to be Clef. But this, without that, you want Sucker Punch, so we're actually going to use, we're going to make it Adamant with this, yeah. Actually, we're going to keep it Jolly with Sucker. We're going to make it Bulk Up, Pyro Ball, Zen Headbutt, Sucker Punch. Yeah, alright, that should be fine. This is about as good as you can do set-wise. This is, yeah, the set's fine. I'm like 4 in special defense. Yeah. Yeah, this it just doesn't work on this team. Like, you can't use this as your like sort of Sherm check because it doesn't really like Earth Power Shred is these two and Ice Move Shred these three. You don't have a Fairy type. You don't have a reliable Dragon answer because Aegislash isn't super great switching. You don't have any pivoting. This isn't even U-turn. I mean, it just leaves you super vulnerable to so many things. You need Clef here. Otherwise, you just lose to things like Toxic Spikes. Like, it just looks toxic and Scald all over your team and doesn't get killed really easily. So yeah, you really need Teleport Clef here. It's kind of why it's so good. I feel like this team also just shows a bit of a, not to be rude, but a lack of an understanding for in-depth play. I feel like they just tried to like use a specific group of offensive threats they found cool, and then like try and just use the Pokemon that hard check / counter as many things as possible. Basically is what I'm trying to say, and this just doesn't accomplish enough because there's more than just hard checking and hard countering. There's also things like pivoting, gaining momentum, positioning yourself, absorbing status, being immune / not vulnerable to hazards, etc. Because good players can get a lot more out of their Pokemon than just them, but also they get the secondary effect. They could get the residual damage, they could get the hazard damage, they could chip things for other things, and so on and so forth. And this team is super susceptible to all those things and then some. So you really need the Clef here. It's kind of the essence of the tier right now, and it really ties teams like this together because it gives you not only a check to things like Dragapult, like Hydreigon, which you desperately need, but also it can teleport and let things like Cinderace and Choice Specs Aegislash and whatever the hell Barraskewda is going to end up being these checks and counters. So yeah, be checked and counters and pivoted around. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, I guess this is fine with Lizzo. You kind of want Brave Bird for Lucia, but if you make this Whirlwind, then you're fine there, yeah. Yeah, that helps with Lucha a little bit, especially with Aegislash as well, so yeah. So, Scarf Barraskewda makes no sense at all. It's, A, you don't even need a Scarf for it to be Range Killer, just run plus speed. B, it's just not viable outside of Rain. It's just like, it's bafflingly weak against things like Toxic Specs. It's vulnerable to Protect when you're lacking Choice, etc. So, it's just really not worth it. You also could really prefer something on this team to revenge kill like opposing Cinderace, for example, with a bit more reliability because it's going to die to Sucker Punch. So Wisp variants of opposing Dragapult do great, but also it synergizes really well with Toxic Aegislash, which you currently have. So what if we make it just a spell tag Dragapult and make it just plus speed because that outruns a lot of other Dragapult, yeah. Yeah, no, that actually works a ton. To make matters a little better for you, you're also really weak to Snorlax right now. even with Barraskewda's Close Combat, because at +1 it's not doing enough and you're just dying to body slam easily enough. Even with bulk up, this just isn't reliable enough because it comes in on clef easily enough. So we're actually going to make the Sacred Sword. Because you really, with Sucker Punch, Cinderace plus Dragapult, this is literally the most speed control you could possibly need. You don't actually need the Shadow Sneak. So yeah, Sacred Sword's really cool for Snorlax in the last slot. Alright, this team looks pretty good. Now, it definitely needed some pretty major changes, unfortunately. But with that reworking, it's a lot better. It's a pretty solid and standardish team where Cinderace balance builds. I think considering Dual Ghost is always cool to integrate as well. But yeah, Skyfire Scoot is just something you really can't afford to use in my eyes. Hope this helps, but yeah, definitely need some shifting there. Alright, now we're on to Welcome to the Jam. I like your name, but this is a really bizarre team. First and foremost, this Rotom Wash spread is the epitome of suboptimal. Running plus special defense without investment, you might as well, like here, let's go for example. You see the spread now? You at 304 / 121 / okay, we'll only do defense slats. It doesn't matter because we're always leaving max HP. 313 defense / 275 as defense. Okay, now look, watch what I can do here. 313. Let's do 313. See, we have 12 leftover EVs. So all of a sudden, you just wasted 12 EVs for no particular reason. It really should be 16 because you want to run 240 and mistook one less from rocks. Yeah. Same amount left over. So yeah. This is just a better spread for it. We're gonna actually just make this extra thread left over. Yeah, sure. Why not? Comes the same. Also, you want to be slower than other Rotom. So we can even. And now you get a slower Volt Switch, which is really cool. And there's nothing else in the speed tier. Just hit 200. You're still gonna outrun Conk always, and some take left. So yeah, that's that. As for the set, I guess Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Willow with Anti-Fog. It's cool. I don't love this team. It has no support for Snorlax right now. So you want something to lure Pex. Scarf? Why are they both Scarf? This needs a lot of work. Yeah. Let's think here. What if we pair it with Reuniclus and we only keep one of the fast dragons, which is going to be Dragapult? What if we make this Reuniclus via Toxapex? Also, Dragapult does nothing for you defensively, and offensively with Scarf when you have Dragapult is completely redundant. It is stronger, but it's a lot worse defensively because it doesn't have the Ghost typing, and it's super walled by Hippowdon. It sucks up long momentum in a lot of those matchups against that. And on top of that, it's just really unnecessary. It does nothing for your team. So what if you make this for your Nicholas? Life Orb, Calm Mind, Thunder, Side Shock, Cover. Also helps with Corviknight, which is going to allow you to make this Curse, Body Slam. Oh, no, Heat Crash is still fine. Yeah, that's right. But also, it beats Pex teams, which is super important. Yeah, and then what if you make this 252? 252 plus, minus, and then throw 4 in speed, because why not? Alright, that helps. You're still really weak to Mold Breaker Drill, which is a problem. You need Clef. What is Sableye for? It doesn't check Aegislash, Bisharp, Cinderace, Cloyster. It doesn't really check Conk too well. It's going to be taking a ton from Knock. I guess it checks it otherwise. I guess it's just for Conk. Because if it's just for Conk, which I don't see anything else it checks, like, you don't need a Spin Blocker. It doesn't make sense here. We're going to make it a Corviknight. Yeah, okay. A Bird, Body Press. And that's good versus Conk as well. And it also just patched up your drill weakness. You got 6-0'd by it otherwise, so yeah. Wait, did my video just upload? My video just upload. Hold the phone. He just asked me thoughts on Bulk Up Cinderace plus Magnet Rise Excadrill, and I just uploaded a video with Magnet Rise Excadrill. That's funny. Hold up. Yeah, no, this should be up. I'm wondering if he saw it already. Is it up? Yeah. It's funny, honestly. Anyway, Anyway, This is fine. This really needs to be actually with. You're still weak to Hydreigon. You need the full special defense. Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't really gain anything, especially when you have the Nicholas and this now. Yeah, you know what? This is better. On 7 speed for Hippo. Yeah. We're gonna say this every single time, over and over and over again. But anyway, that's fine. And yeah, now we could make this. We really do not need Scarf on this. Like, there's no reason to run Scarf. So you're actually gonna run Spell Tag Modest because you have a Ghost Immune. Yeah. We can make this 40 HP as well to take 0 Aura knockoff because you're a little vulnerable to 0 Aura. Wait, you have no rocks on this team either, dude. All right, well, we're gonna end up changing 3 Pokemon on this team. That's kind of sad. I mean, it's really impossible to build with Snorlax after all. And, I mean, I hate to be rude to Welcome to the Gym, but you have, like, Sableye and Dracozolt, which just aren't viable Pokemon, no matter what you do. They, like, do work on a lower ladder, but, like, the thing is that you can't be consistent with them. Dracozolt just inherently because of Hustle, but also because it provides nothing defensively. And Sableye just because it's such a weak Pokemon and it's vulnerable to pretty much every single common threat besides Conkeldurr. And it does, if you're using a defense Pokemon, it walls nothing and doesn't provide a ton of utility because Prankster on Sableye just isn't doing anything to Fire type, so it's like, you know, what's the point? Anyway, you really need something for Stealth Rock here, and you have another Defogger and Corviknight already. So, what if you make this a Seismitoad, I guess? Yeah, leftovers. But yo, let's make it something cool, because we don't need the defensive Seismitoad. So what if we make it... What if we make it Focus Punch Seismitoad? And that's going to help with Hydreigon as well. But more importantly, it's also going to clock Ferrothorn, which is kind of annoying to kill as is. Oh, you don't have a knockoff user, though. You know what, it's fine. We'll make it work with this. We're going to go 2 for 2 Adamant. We're going to hit 220 speed for... Yeah. You know, actually, we'll just go max speed. You know what, screw it. This actually fits, because you don't need it defensively with Corviknight plus Snorlax plus Dragapult and Rhinocle. You really don't need it defensively for anything. So yeah, this is actually really cool, so... I noticed to deface as a team, and this is probably the only team that I'm going to completely deface, but it was just mad inconsistent and honestly just unviable beforehand, so I'm sorry, but you still have like 3 of your original Pokemon plus the same like core, so I hope that helps. But now you have removal, you have Hazard Set, you have an actual complementary win condition to Snorlax, which needs all the support in the world, which this team is thankfully giving it. So yeah, I hope this helps. It's done. I changed this more than I'd like to normally change your teams, but it just needed it. I'm sorry. Anyway, now we're at the 12-minute mark. Let's get to Ticklish here. Life Orb. We're getting some weird teams, not gonna lie. I mean, we're at this point. We're at the point where we're getting teams that like were posted late, so I guess it's more likely than that. But yeah, we could definitely make work of this. But I don't understand the Tyranitar set or this. This needs some work. First off, Snorlax just doesn't fit here. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Like, you need a ton of support to make Snorlax work, and this sure as hell isn't it. You're gonna need something to lure Pex, for example, which you just have something to abuse it, not to lure it. So just switch out. Indeed's got plenty of checks and counters in the metagame, so yeah. And we're gonna make sure we use Indeedee, though. We're gonna make this Corviknight for Drill. Venusaur, I guess, is okay, but not offensively. What if we make it a defensive set for Zera Aura? Using it with Sand makes little to no sense because you can't use Synth. What if you change Tar 2 to another Rocker? Stealth Rock. It's like we're defacing these teams. I mean, it kind of needs to be Como O anyway, for a whole slew of things. So yeah, I mean, I guess that'll do it. But we have another Ghost Resist, thankfully. I don't love what I had to change this much, but yeah, it's fine. All right, now let's make this a cool Venusaur, though. Knock off this, and then we can make it. We'll just throw the 8 in speed just in case. Yeah, that actually is really good against Zeraora, and against Como, and against Bulky Clefable. So yeah, actually a lot of upside to this set, I'd say. I saw it on ladder and I kind of called it off, but it's actually kind of cool. You don't need Defog in this anymore, so you could finally run Trick. And what if you make it Nasty Plot last? That'd be really cool. And you actually want to run max speed. There are a lot of things in the speed tier. I know it seems weird, but trust me on that. You outrun all Como, you outrun Modest Hydreigon, Modest Kyurem, and of course you still outrun the Gyarados speed tier as well. So yeah, just running max speed is of vital importance here. All right, Corviknight, we want to just make it. We're weak to Hawlucha, so yeah. Body press. Nope. Leftovers. Body press, boost, defog, 252, 160 plus, minus 1680. Give you speed for Conkeldurr, special defense for specs. Dragapult, Fire Blast, always living that, and then you still have maximized bulk, but you get Brave Bird, always 2 kills Conkeldurr. Body Press is great for things like Bisharp, which you currently only have combo for, which is okay, but you want to avoid flinches because now you could run a slower combo since you have Venusaur to check Primarina, and also you want a core speed here in this team, especially since you're not great against swords. Actually, is this Mystical Fire? Yeah, it is. Actually, you're pretty decent against so that's gonna allow this to turn taunt because you're decent against Aegislash. You don't need to run Dragon Tail to break the balloon of swords against variants. Yeah, it's really cool. Earthquake. So there are a lot of redeeming factors of these teams. It's just that I feel like the cores of them are kind of inherently flawed, if you will. So we're only gonna run out neutral Aegislash, not plus speed. Yeah, and also we're gonna actually creep Choice Bantar as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's chill. Also gonna give this jump on some Mandibuzz. Alright, a little vulnerable to Kyurem. This is the one downside of dropping Lax. So I'm gonna say that. Is this actually tied Kyurem? I guess that's cool. Boy. Fuck, I made it weak to Kyurem. This can actually be specially defensive on this team, yeah. We can make it just slow special defense, yeah, that's fine. And then we could just, seeing as we got Venusaur, that's actually okay. We could actually make it, Body Press, Protect, Roost, Protect, Defog. And this is going to give us more leftovers so we can tank things like Specs Aegislash, which is important. Because Flash Cannon is annoying if you switch in combo on it. And more importantly, Kyurem. And it also still checks Excadrill. So yeah, I think this is as good as you can get on this team. It's kind of imperfect, but Protect Corviknight is really cool for those Kyurem rolls turning them in your favor. And also just stalling out things. So yeah, if you really want, you can make it U-turn. In fact, I'm probably going to... Well, honestly, we're going to make this back to Toxic, because Toxicking the... if you Toxic Kyurem, you're golden, and then we're going to keep this Protect. I know it kind of sounds gimmicky, but on this team, it's really important for that matchup. And also, to scout out things like Cinderace, if it's banded, is really important as well, because if it locks in the Zen headbutt, you can take advantage of it. It also stalls out Conkeldurr. It's got Scarfire Dragon. Yeah, it actually has a lot of practical applications. It's something that I think should be used a bit more. It's just a very specific team that it fits on, and this is it, I'd say. So yeah, it's a little different, but you still have, I think, 5 of the same mounts. And, yeah, no. Might be... No, it is 4 of the same mounts. Okay, sorry. But, yeah, no, it makes the most use of Indeedee. It's just, you can't really use it, plus Life Orb Clef. Life Orb Clef limits building a ton compared to Wish Teleport. But yeah, no, we tried to make the most of that. That's cool. Alright, now let's get Pallet Town Baby's team in here. Oh, we're using Swords and Silvally Fairy. That's interesting. I guess. It's really weak to Corviknight, but you... And Pex, but you do kind of take advantage of that. You're... I think I actually went over this team in PM with him. I forget the changes I proposed, but I'll just go over a new set of changes here because I think it's better this way. First off, Jirachi really needs to be a Ferrothorn. And I'm going to hold up. This also needs to be bulk up. Wait, let me just make the changes and I'll explain them step by step. Alright, so first set. Bulk up here gives you a win condition that can break things like Pex, break things like Corviknight. It takes advantage of Corviknight in particular, because it's got Pyro Ball. In low kick, you don't need high jump kick, because Pyro Ball hits all the steel types that you really need high jump kick damage for, or low kick damage, like Excadrill and Ferrothorn. Pyro Ball just decimates them, obviously, and low kick is great against everything else. Does the same amount of damage, because Ouya is a pretty heavy tier, honestly. You just missed out on Rotom Heat, which you can Zen Headbutt anyway, and this team actually is a little weak to Rotom Heat. It was even weaker before. We're going to actually make this Toxic. So this helps a ton with his Drill. So now you could actually afford to run Toxic here. That's really cool, and you can keep the special defensive because now you have Body Press on Ferrothorn. So yeah, we're going to make this Leftovers, Stealth Rock, Leech Seed, Knockoff, Body Press. And we can pump physical defense in this team? Yeah. For speed, why the hell not? Alright. Swords Dance, multi-attack, flame charge, parting shot. That's just the move order I use. Don't mind my move orders, change them back as you wish. Oh, why is the defense nature not coming in? Okay, there we go. Yeah, zero. What's the 0R set? Oh, so close combat's better than Drain Punch in my eyes. You don't even kill things like extra +1. You barely even touch Pharaoh Throw, and you really need to do damage to these things. I mean, even getting a one-shot on Tyranitar is big. And then there's a lot of mid-ground potential for close combat. I know Bulk Up heals you up in some matches, but Drain Punch is just so much weaker. The Drain Punch is so much weaker than close combat, and you really need the damage. I'm sorry. Yeah, it actually synergizes really nice. Actually, making it toxic, hear me out. Making it toxic means that you can toxic things like Size of a Toad and hit Pow Down, which means Bulk Up, Cinderace, and Swords Dance Levi Fairy go so much better. Will Clefable get suspected? I don't know. I haven't played the... Do I look like someone... I'm not gonna... Okay. I don't know. DLC metagame not playable yet. It will be based off of that. I'm not even gonna bother being sarcastic. Alright, and a Kyurem, it actually does fit here, but you're really weak to opposing Kyurem, so you actually kind of want to run Plus Speed Kyurem. This team in general is just gonna be super weak to opposing Kyurem, unfortunately. I mean, the thing is, you'd be adding a Clefable, and that just like kind of ruined the Savali Fairy effect, because that's like the center of your team. I don't want to completely deface your team, but at least just speed ties it, this revenge kills it, this low kick just decimates it. Yeah, and you could at least Toxic in the switch in, that's cool. But very limited, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, this'll do it. Definitely there's a couple vulnerabilities, but you made it. This makes it a lot more consistent, I'd say. Without changing multiple Pokemon, which you could do and make the team a little better, but it defaces the team. So yeah, we're gonna actually go through one more team here. Skuntank 3800. Why the hell not? Oh, I regret this already. You know what? We're going to save this for next time. It's going to take 3800. There's a lot of things that are interesting about that team, and we're going to analyze that next time. I feel like it's better to start that video off with that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to hopefully wrap this series up this weekend. I'm not sure which day yet, but stay tuned for that. All right, peace, guys.